All right, Christy, bring us in BTS.
No.
What?
I don't have it.
Come on.
Behind the Screen 16 was the last one, so this is the
When was it?
Friday, May 3rd.
Jesus, May 3rd? We just gave up on those.
Yeah, that was in the 70s.
And I don't think we had done a one for a while.
That
before
was
that
between
one either.
episode
Okay.
69 and 70.
Right, because the last time we did one was right before we came into the tomb. So since we came into the tomb, which was episode 70, we haven't done one. The Day of the Nine Gods. Because, 69 was all that shit that went down with the Shadow Fell and Cappy and kind of completing Cappy's story arc. And then we came into the tomb.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Natty19 Podcast. And tonight, we're doing a special Behind the Screen. BTS number 17. I've got Charlie, Jonathan, Irame, a.k.a. Christy Lee, the Marshalls, as I like to call them, and myself, James Swain. How we doing, guys? It's been a long time since we've done a BTS.
We're missing a K-Way.
Real long time. Yeah, where's K-Way?
We're missing a K-Way, but that's okay.
Working.
Is he working?
Loser.
Somebody's got to
Lame.
pay for this.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a BTS.
So we haven't done a BTS since we came into the Tomb of Annihilation. So since episode 70.
Many moons have passed.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, we're up to like episode 94 or something.
But we had just restructured how we're doing things a little bit. We're trying something new, and hopefully we'll be able to get more BTSs more often.
Yeah.
Get
We
back to
will.
doing it regularly.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
yeah, we'll
It's
be
going to
able
be
to
winter
now.
soon. We're not going to have anything else to do.
I mean,
Except for
if we
like pay heat bills and stuff like that.
shovel snow.
Yeah, chop wood. I don't know if
We
you're
don't
in it.
chop wood. Ow.
Did you just
Time
bump
will
your
still
nose
tell
on the
on that.
microphone?
No, it's this new nose ring. It hurts my face.
It
I
hurts.
thought you had something
killing
going on
me.
with your face. So what do we want to talk about, guys? I know Charlie's been wanting to rehash
I've
that
been
battle.
chomping at the bit to talk about the most recent battle that we had with the Beholder in the tomb. But if we want to talk a little bit about, do we want to lead up to that or just jump right into the battle?
Let's jump into the battle because it's still fresh in our minds for now. I, for one, never fought in a Beholder, and it's such an iconic D&D monster. It was a lot of fun to finally sink Cappy's blade into one.
I fought a Beholder once in 2nd edition, and I died first round immediately. I think it had something like a death ray. I forget the Beholder stats from 2E.
It has like a disintegrate?
Yeah,
Is that
something
what it
like
is?
it was like it just had all of these deadly abilities, and it hit me, and I just got annihilated in one
Isn't
round.
that basically what happened to
And that's
Svitlongi?
basically what happened to Svitlongi. So this is my second Beholder encounter, and basically losing another character, because even though technically she's alive, well, when are we publishing this?
Whenever we want to.
Okay. Well, so I'm assuming we're doing it after the everything's resolved, after the battle's resolved.
Yeah,
okay.
so after episode 94.
Okay, so even though she's alive, even though Svitlongi is alive, she only has 15 maximum hit points. So really effectively, she's inactive. She can't go through the Tomb of Annihilation with 15 hit points.
Yeah. 15 shit points.
Yeah, you took the
Shit
words right
points.
out of my mouth.
I mean, it would be a suicide mission.
Dude, Cappy's not looking too healthy either. What's he got? 30? I gotta look him up. I think he's only got like 36 hit points.
He got hit hard too. But with Svitlongi, I feel like it was her own. She was low on spell slots, and throughout the entire Tomb adventure, throughout the entire time we've been in the Tomb of Annihilation, I've constantly reserved certain spells to make sure she can get out of any predicament. I'm talking Dimension Door, the ability to go invisible, like all of these things just to make sure she can get out of a sticky situation. And this one time we go into this room where she didn't have her spell slots, didn't have those things at the ready, and that was the one time she needed them.
He didn't have them. And we weren't fully rested either. There was a lot of hemming and hawing about even going in that room, and I was kind of pushing the pace. I was putting the
I
the
had
gems
every
in.
intention of going in, even
Yeah,
though
same
listening
here.
back, John just kept telling
He kept
us
warning
to
us.
not go in.
Actually, I think that's what I think the whole group was like.
We were
Let's
well,
go
he
in.
doesn't want us to go in. Let's go in.
Right.
Right.
The DM was like,
Is he trying to hide some treasure?
He was using the deities like Wongo and fucking. They're all
Yeah.
telling us like, don't go in
Papazotto.
there, and we're like, no, it's
Get
fine.
out.
The little Fey
The
elf.
little Faye out there, something evil.
in there.
We're like, let's
I
do
try
it.
to give you guys a whole lot of
Let's fucking
warning.
do it.
Yeah.
Because what was funny is I was thinking it was the Eye of Zoltek or whatever, because it was fucking eyes. It was a fucking beholder, and then I was like, maybe the beholder is the Eye of Zoltek. I don't know.
Well, now the Eye of Zoltek is what they're feeding the souls to, right? To empower the soulmonger.
No, I think you guys just made that up.
No,
No.
it's not. The Eye of Zoltek is just something that
Just an artifact.
Yeah, it's an artifact that the Yellow Banner people were looking for.
I thought there was some machine or mechanism or something they were.
That
came
sounds
across at
vaguely
some point.
familiar.
Yeah, like we read it in
Hold
the
on.
passage.
Oh, the soulmonger?
Yeah, maybe it's the soul.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's why it's called the soulmonger.
It mongers souls.
But there was like 3 sisters or something who were like watching it, or
Yeah, the demons. There was
Back yourself up.
So yeah, what's that all about? That's why I'm mixing it
They
up.
were the caretakers that were sent. They were like the nursemaids.
So that's
Guess
where
I didn't write this
I
one
had
down.
a feeling we were in that area or in that.
No,
room.
the Eye of Zoltek is under the same umbrella as like the Black Opal Crown.
Yeah, it's
You
just
know
what
who
will.
is-
It's just what will free the
No,
moon
the Eye
elf.
of Zoltek. You know who was looking for the Eye of Zoltek was as well. It was the Bag of Nails
Oh.
What the hell did he want with it?
to find his son, his missing son.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want my
Michael.
Yeah, so that I think that could have been where you first heard it. I don't know.
No, we first heard it. Yeah, that was probably it if it was mentioned. But the moon elf said the Eye of Zoltek will free her from the lantern. The Yellow Banner were the previous keepers of the lantern, and they died down here looking. Right, because the dwarf had the Yellow Banner
Yep.
and died, and then we found the body of a Yellow Bannerman.
The half goat,
Yeah.
and then the dragonborn paladin. So I think you've come across
3.
3. Oh wait, was there one like on the first floor as well? No,
The two
maybe not.
that I remember specifically were the dwarf that died over again in the loop, and the dead body.
Hey, you guys want to talk about the loop for a second? Because wasn't there?
No, it confused
we-
me, and I don't even know how we made it through it.
Well,
Oh,
before,
yeah, because
before-
there was a whole bunch about that loop that we talked about offline.
Yeah, that I think really shocked me. Right?
there was a lot to do with that we could talk about. But before moving on from the Beholder fight,
Oh,
should
yeah,
we
I
talk
had-
about the Beholder
Yeah,
at all?
I was
or
actually
should
gonna
we-
do that, yeah.
The star of the show. there.
Yeah. So
I
this
just
was-
wasn't sure if we wanted the spoilers.
I was
in
so
there.
disappointed that none of us could speak to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a bummer.
Yeah, me and
That was
Charlie
a big
talked about
bummer,
that.
and I didn't realize that until in the moment of. I was like so disappointed.
Yeah, you
know?
probably had a lot of stuff ready.
I know, like all little fucking
Well, there was like
sayings and shit.
the
No, there was going to be like dialogue, but
Yeah.
and there
Cappy
wasn't.
should speak Undercommon. It's silly. It's not on his character sheet.
That
Yeah.
was totally his role
They
there.
dropped
Yeah.
the ball on
Blew
us.
it.
It's all right.
I
You got another
honestly,
shot.
I must have assumed he had it. Because why would I not take Undercommon from
I
a
had just
character with a
assumed too. I should have
backstory?
asked you just to be
Right.
sure, but I had just assumed
We should have
too.
solidified that.
But
Oh well, sometimes that happens.
Yep.
And that's what makes this
I mean,
game
I
so much
guess,
fun.
right? Immigrants come to this country and then their children don't speak their old world country language.
Yeah, I
anymore.
wouldn't
They
beat yourself up about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we
No.
could still beat you up about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think a lot of immigrants end up being bilingual.
yeah, but sometimes after a couple, like, I don't know how
A
many
generation or
generations.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a few. But anyway, so the Beholder, I think I played it to the best of my ability in the moment, but definitely listening back and editing it, I was like, I think I could have ran it a little bit differently, but
I think you could have been harsher if you wanted.
but in the moment though, with everything going on, it's I think it went okay. It went pretty good. I think Svitlongi definitely walked away with the brunt of it all.
I do. Well, after your, let's not move immediately away from this beholder. Finish saying what you're saying because I have a little bit more.
Well, I was going to mention one of the, I guess one of the more larger, I don't know if I'd call it a mistake, go that far, but one of the things is the anti-magic cone. I think the beholder probably would have been a little bit more conscious of getting the sphere, the iron orb, the iron sphere with his anti-magic ray. I think he would have avoided that at all costs, But I couldn't remember if he was just either enraged for whatever reason or something else was going on that made me decide to do that.
And there's nothing in there that's saying that he's not affected by that mace, is there? Because remember, I was putting terror on him, and then I was thinking afterwards, I'm like, I wonder if he could even
Be terrified.
be terrified, right?
Oh, yeah. In the moment, I was definitely like, this ain't going to work. But then when you did it and I was looking through the condition immunities and all that, I don't see anything in here.
I expected it to
listing
not work
that
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, for condition immunities, there's nothing in there about it. There's no, little sidebar with any information that he'd be immune to it. So
So I felt like that was an incredible, hindrance on him.
I mean, he's got
Major
killers.
disability.
He does have great saves. I think it was just what was it? A wisdom save?
I think it was Wisdom 16, which is pretty high.
Sorry, he's got a +7 to wisdom saving throw. So they got pretty good saves, and I think he rolled like a 2 or something like that on that
You're
fucking
just rolling
save.
well, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's it. He's just got really high saving throws.
Well, I'll tell you, Svitlongi would have been dead, period, if we went strictly by the rules, because I don't think, according to the rules, she would have been able to really cut the buckles on her breastplate.
Yeah, did you look into it a little more?
I looked into it more, and what Zavril found in Xanathar's, that's not even like a type of armor, it's a type of magic armor. It's like quick release magic armor, basically.
That's a buckle, though. And my point on stuff like
and that's
that
that's sort of
is
where I was
when the DM says something's all right, let's move on.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
then we keep going and then somebody's still in 3 rounds later, we bring it back up. It's
Right,
like,
right.
The fucking decision's been made.
No,
the
no.
armor's cut.
I think it was a
Let's
good
fucking
decision.
go.
I think it was a good
Yeah.
decision, and I think
Yeah.
it makes sense. And it's not like she had a full set of plate mail,
Right.
and I think it's like the rule of fun, and
Exactly.
it certainly goes
absolutely,
along
yeah.
with it. But I did want to acknowledge, in case there are people out there that are,
But the trade-off is that armor's destroyed now.
the armor's destroyed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we did it good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think where the controversy was with that magic cast off armor, it destroys the armor once you activate it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
That's
Yeah.
where it became a little controversial.
Yeah.
But ultimately, in the end, what was my deciding factor was that it wasn't full plate where
was a
you couldn't
breastplate.
just cut a strap on full plate armor. It's a little bit more complex than that.
Yeah, I'm picturing a breastplate has maybe 4,
Yeah,
2 on each
2 of them,
side or
yeah.
something.
Right. Something manageable.
Right, right.
Yeah, I
By a
think
fucking
Even at the
grown
most,
adventurer.
4, 2, and 2 to connect 2
Right.
pieces.
I mean, you got a knife, you got a dagger, or whatever. It's leather.
Yeah, you're a grown, seasoned adventurer.
you could have done
Yeah.
a roll,
I
I
mean-
guess, maybe, with a 50% chance you don't get out that round. Maybe. But, I mean,
Yeah.
on the spot like that where shit's moving,
Yep.
whatever, I think we did it fine.
But a standard action is it's people do a lot of stuff in a standard action.
Right. If you can pull out a potion from your backpack and quaff it.
right?
Be able to cut 4
if you have
straps.
time to rummage,
Yeah.
then you can
Yeah,
definitely
so-
cut some straps.
And even still, she had to take a 20, 30-foot fall. I forget how high it was, but
Right.
at 15
yeah,
hit points.
if there was no feather fall, then you'd
Right,
also
I-
probably be dead.
I don't think I would be dead, but it is taking a big chance, and it would have put me
Real close.
in even
Yeah.
a more vulnerable situation. But I wasn't counting on the feather fall. I didn't know that you would
Yeah.
cast it on me. And thank you, by the way.
Yeah, that was a waste of a spell slot.
Oh, come on now. You love Svitlongi.
I know, she hit the ground and ran.
You love it.
So there was
You
a
love her.
couple. There was a couple back and forths that I went through with that fight. The anti-magic cone, 150-foot cone. There was no question there. It could target anybody it chooses at the beginning of its turn. It can then decide which way the cone faces. Right, easy peasy stuff. The area works against the beholder's own eye rays. So the way I played it out is it's been watching you since you came down on this floor, watching you guys go. It already knew that Irame was the primary caster as far as damage goes. So that's the way I played it. He's an intelligent creature. He fixated that anti-magic cone on Irame pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Me too. It meant I wasn't going to get hit. Like, yeah, I'll hang out in here, whatever.
Right. And
Is that all you got? Anti-magic?
as far as wording goes, it says the beholder shoots
Right.
3 of the following magical eye rays at random. Reroll duplicates, choosing 1 to 3 targets. No, it chooses. Okay, so it just rolls the ray random, but it does choose 1 to 3
yeah,
targets. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I played it. I played that good.
Okay.
But as far as the rays go, there was 10 different rays that
And
could come
We
out.
definitely saw the worst one, I
You
think.
think so?
The one that hit you? I don't
What do you
think
think
can
is-
get
I
much
don't think
worse than-
I don't think you saw the worst one.
No, I'm pretty
That
sure
can-
there's an insta-death. Like,
yeah,
just,
the worst one is number 10, and that's the death ray.
And what's that do?
And
Let's hear
that,
it. I got to hear it.
well, it essentially does the same thing as the disintegr. Well, no. So this one does. Which one hit first? Let's talk about
Necrotic
this.
damage. You hit.
I think Svitlongi got hit by the
8d8 necro.
Jesus.
Yeah, 8d8 is
yeah,
a lot.
which was number 5, the enervation ray. Yeah, so that's 8d8 necrotic damage. So in my opinion, that is arguably, in Tomb of Annihilation anyway, the second to the worst one. But Death Ray is the same thing, only it's 10d10 necrotic damage, right? So
Oh,
it's the
there's
same
not-
effect, just more
There wasn't an
damage.
insta-death one?
I mean, 10d10 necrotic.
Not
is
as- not-
as close to
Pretty
it as you
close.
can get.
Right.
Level
Well,
of
actually,
characters.
if you count Petrification Ray
Oh, shit.
as an instant death,
No, that doesn't kill you.
Does that
though, right?
remove... What do you
Petrify?
need to get rid
it
of
doesn't.
that?
It doesn't kill you, but
Remove
you do
curse,
need
probably?
greater restoration.
Okay.
Ooh, I've only got remove curse.
Maybe that's
scrolls.
what I was thinking about. I don't know why I thought
I don't think
disintegrate.
anybody in our party has greater restoration.
Oh,
it's
but it
not-
does say you can repeat
impossible.
the saving throw at the end of your next turn, so you can keep. Oh wait, no. On a failed save, the creature begins to turn to stone and is restrained, and you can repeat the saving throw. When you fail that saving throw, then you're petrified, and then that's permanent until you get freed by the Greater Restoration spell. But I think as far as an instant death, yeah, I think Death Ray is the closest you're going to get. 10d10 necrotic damage. If, by the way, a lot of these are if you're reduced to 0 hit points, you die instantly outright.
So no death saves.
No death
Good
saves.
Right,
So
that
that's
must be what I'm thinking. I knew something was like,
Yeah.
you're just dead. That's the end.
and that applies, believe it or not. You got the Death Ray, Disintegration Ray that applies to, which is 10d8 force damage. But if you're reduced to 0, you're dead instantly.
Wow.
And then you have the Enervation Ray, which is the one that hits Svitlongi. And that's, because it's necrotic damage, you're dead when you hit 0 with it. As far as, but that's it. All the other ones are like Charm Ray, Paralyze Ray, Fear Ray. They're like crowd control rays. But nastiness. There's a handful of nastiness that
We
could
should make a
accumulate.
party of characters, and all of our names are going to be Ray. And each one of us will have a different ability.
Maybe Ray Finkel.
Where's Charm Ray? We need Charm Ray for this job.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's I think that's it. I mean, if
Christy would be Fire Ray, I think.
For sure.
So, did you want to add anything else to this Beholder fight?
No, mostly I just wanted to point out that Svitlongi had, for the one time she let her guard drop was the time that, it had happened. I mean, she started to get too comfortable in the tomb, and then the other thing was just with the armor.
Cappy didn't get hit once in that fight. I actually ended the fight with more hit points than I have.
Nice.
the invisibility spell was cast on it by a wish. So that's why it wasn't breaking. I was a little confused about that as to whether or not it would break. But I think from what I gathered reading the wish spell that I think at that point, if it's wished on you, it's permanent regardless of your actions.
And what was that doing us? Giving us disadvantage to hit him?
Yeah, surprisingly, that's the only disadvantage of an
Yes.
I
invisible
felt like we
creature. It's
really
very weird.
Almost mopped the floor with him, though, once we got going. I mean, Irame was blasting it, doing most of the damage, but...
Yeah, there was a lot going on there that kind of balanced, leveled the play field. You had, I think Zavril put out that fog, which was an interesting dynamic in that fight with the rays, the anti-magic cone, which was spreading the fucking fog. You know, that was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's
There was
pretty
a
cool
lot,
visual,
Yeah,
too.
there was a lot of weird shit that was going on that was really cool, but also kind of confusing and complex for me to process.
And even though you gave me shit about like running, I still was around the corner throwing a bless out there.
I mean,
shit
that's, gotta give you some shit about running. But yeah, you definitely gave us the bless, which was super helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
On our saving throws, because every time those rays hit you, what are you
Yep.
doing? Rolling the saving throw, and it's nice to have that plus fucking 4
Absolutely.
from Svetlongi.
Yep. Especially when you're dealing with necrotic damage and you can take half of it on a successful save. You know, that's key.
No, we pulled together well as a team because we definitely talked in the week leading up to it about just cutting tail and running.
Yeah.
And
I think that was all we talked about.
yeah,
We did not strategize how to fight very much.
Yeah, my vote was like fighting. I was like, I want to fight. I don't know how, but I think we should fight it. But we definitely, in my mind, I had saved a spell slot ready for Dimension Door to get out of there.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of who I was going to take with me, which honestly probably would have been Irame.
I would have thought the same.
Yeah, I feel like Cappy and Irame have the closest spawn, followed by Zavril. Even though out of the original group, Zavril would be on the low end of that, but then Svetlongi being his least favorite, just because you're the newest member to the group, and have ribbed Cappy quite a few times. But he is impressed with Svetlongi's faith to her set.
Yeah, so I think that was the toughest encounter that we've had in the tomb. What do you think?
I mean, they've all been tough in their own way, right? Withers was a cakewalk. That battle in the laboratory with the first golem and those dwarves, and they were throwing out necrotic.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, that was a little terrifying.
No, and even when the spiders came, I mean, everything's had its own.
But all in all, though, I was starting to get a little relaxed. I was like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because we went in, I was like, really, really careful, intense, and cautious. But then I started to loosen up a little bit. All right, we're handling it.
We're checking for traps.
You know?
We're just roaming around here, seeing what happens.
Yeah, I definitely started getting the vibe that you guys were getting a little bit comfortable with the rate of progress and difficulty.
Yeah, we were getting too cavalier with it.
Yeah, we were just like, what do we do next? Let's just do it.
Right. I have a feeling
it.
the next time the trickster gods display any kind of warnings, signs, or anything like that, you're going to be a little bit more cautious about moving forward, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
No.
I feel like you need to manipulate us.
Well,
I think we as a group, we like this being difficult. Like, I want to be pushing it as difficult as we can.
Yeah.
And hopefully not TPK.
Yeah, I
Right.
think there's another dynamic at play, perhaps maybe even a subconscious one in effect, and it could have been on purpose by the design of the adventure, but I think the position at which these challenges are put in, like, for example, when we first started this podcast, this adventure, and you came upon this room with these warnings, I wonder if you would have been as brazen, or because the adventure's already been going on for like 2 fucking years, if you're just like starting to get that kind of like, let's just fucking get on with it kind of mentality. You know what I mean?
I was thinking about what would be, what would help that So you finish an adventure path even when you start to kind of hit a point where
Like
it's
you're
like
getting campaign fatigue.
yeah, exactly. And I was thinking switching characters, like that's what it is. Like
That's what I do.
yeah, it
Obviously.
is. Yeah. It's like
I don't
that's
know.
gotta
I
be
grow
the-
more and more attached to Cappy.
Well, yeah, and I definitely want to be able to play Quincy again, you know, especially now that I'm imagining how he's progressing and what he's going to be like when he comes back.
And I think Irame is such a fantastic character with a lot of depth, and I don't know. I hope you don't switch.
I no, Irame's gonna if she leaves because she's dead. That's
She should play.
I'm gonna die. I'm
gonna
not just
run her
gonna make
into the
it.
ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should play a Yuanti that follows Rosnasi.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great party dynamic. Then we can just fight each other all day long.
Yeah. The catching Svitlangi with the feather fall was like, I was thinking about it, like what would Irame do? And it made me chuckle because Irame would fucking feather fall her. Like, I don't even know why I had to think that. That's exactly what she do. Like she acts so tough. You know, I noticed that Irame's always like acting tough now, but she would always save somebody.
I know, she was so meek at the beginning.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So polite, humble.
Yeah, but like then she wrecked Beholder. She was like, all right, I'm gonna act tough now.
That lightning bolt is
But she's
a doozy.
not.
Yeah. Anything else in the tomb that we want to cover?
So
I'm
I don't-
opening maps now, and maybe I could jog my memories.
Right, I
going through
don't
the
know if
first
we
level.
ever said it on air, but the circle.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't get to that yet.
So that actually brought us to like a pocket dimension, right? And the
the
tomb-
ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything on that was the same, right? Like it was like a whole new tomb of annihilation we could have gone and explored,
Yeah.
but everything was going to be reset.
Yeah, every 24 hours you get. I think it said, I don't have it open in front of me, but there was definitely an indicator letting the players know that something
Was
like
something's awry.
yeah, like
Something's
something
amiss.
shimmers or something like that when it resets. You know, I'm thinking like, I hate to keep coming back to it, but Lost. You know, when the sky turns white and it fucking the island teleports or whatever. You know what I mean?
I forgot about that.
That's a little bit more than a shimmer, but yeah.
It'd have to happen.
But it's a cue, and that's
Right,
where I'm
right.
going.
in shows, it always has
Exactly.
to happen like twice before people believe it.
Yeah.
You know, they have to relive the day. They're like, this is weird. This is very similar to yesterday. And then it has to happen a second time. And you're like, okay, it's weird now.
Yeah.
I wonder how close we are to level 9. When did we hit level 8?
Immediately
you
before
guys
the beholder.
Yeah, you guys just leveled up.
What? Seems like a long time ago.
It does.
I bet Beholder, though, freaking pumps out the XP.
Yeah, maybe
Challenge
enough
rating
XP.
13, I think. You know, it's not going to nearly be enough to level you.
No.
But there was a lot that you guys just kind of skated through, you know, or at least went through.
Well, let's finish talking
unscathed.
about this ring. So the ring, something happens. We go to it. So the ring, actually, when you go around it, we end up in another dimension that is a reflection of the prime dimension. And so we have a whole new tomb of annihilation there.
Yeah, but you guys had, dare I say, even on accident, managed to go back and go through the real one.
Well, I mean, I think we were using the corpse to keep our bearing. Like, we didn't want to get lost in a whole bunch of
Right,
circles.
but that clue was misleading. I think that was one of the first misleading clues, where the ring is the path to another tomb, you know?
Right.
I guess it wasn't misleading. It's actually, if you take it literal, then it's actually, you know, you want to follow that advice because you don't want to go to another tomb. You want to stay in this one.
Right, because if we had ended up in the other tomb, then no matter how much work we had done,
It would have been for naught.
it would have been for nothing.
Yeah.
And then when we would have come back eventually, maybe, and we would have had to do all that all over again.
Right.
Okay.
That would have
Wow.
been boring
That
to
would have
listen
screwed us
to.
all up just looking. That would have screwed us all up just because we misinterpreted tomb. Like we thought it was a tomb, one of the 9 gods rooms.
Right.
Well, that's how I interpreted it.
Oh,
Right.
I didn't realize it meant like a, you know.
the whole thing.
Yeah, so when we were there, I was like, well, wait, we're going to leave? We didn't find the tomb. Because I was thinking the tomb of one of the gods.
Right, right.
Funny.
If that did happen, though, instead of rerunning it all again, we'd have to end it like a Twilight Zone or like a Planet of the Apes, where you realize what happened, and we'd just be like, "No!"
Oh my God, yeah, that would have been upsetting, I bet, for a lot of people. People hate those kind of endings.
I don't know. That was a classic. Planet of the Apes. That was classic.
Oh, yeah, but when it happened in the
Statue of
classic,
Liberty, I love it.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I loved that. I was like, "Oh my God,
should do
Statue of Liberty sticking out of the sand."
We got to do a Planet of the Apes marathon tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe a fiasco.
So the Bolt Beholder at challenge rating 13 is 10,000 XP. I would say this one should be, because it's in lair.
it's not in lair.
It's not its lair?
No, it didn't get any lair actions. Lair
Okay.
actions would have been an additional ray.
Yeah, so 10,000 XP is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I assume we split that four ways,
You'd
right?
split
I
it.
mean,
yeah.
I think Svitlongi should get the bigger part.
Why? Definitely not. Cappy with the terror was obviously the MVP of that fight.
Okay.
That terror put it in its place so you could burn it down.
But yeah, there's
No rebuttal?
you guys had
I
passed.
think Zavril might be MVP of that one.
The fog?
Doing weird shit.
Yeah, but if you guys failed your saves without my bless, then it just would have been dead. Party pipe.
I didn't have to make any saves.
I'm
Well-
pretty sure I used it.
After a couple of us fell, you would have to make saves. You'd be one of the
That's true.
targets.
Sure.
Let me see. There's Papa Zoddle's tomb. That was pretty.
Yeah, was that the one with the skeletons and the vats?
Yeah.
That was another one we talked about offline, I think, whereas those vats would have kept pumping out skeleton creatures.
Oh, like a gauntlet spawn point.
Yep.
Yeah. It would have
Yeah.
been terrible every round. Another 6 to 8 skeletons or some bullshit.
Yeah, the glass cauldrons, but that's another one. I mean, that got a little. You guys almost failed that one. That was the bow before none, I think. Bow before no one.
Yeah, that was an
That's that
episode.
one. You guys almost failed that one. It was a little
With
bit
the winds, what were you saying?
ominous wind.
Ominous wind. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Wind that comes from nowhere is some fuckery. There's some fuckery going on.
Let me see. What else did we
I
have?
mean, could you imagine just like right now if like a wind came through here? We would be losing our minds.
Yeah, especially in a normal world with no magic and no
Yeah.
creepy shit.
Even
But
in a
if you
world of
were
magic
if you
and
were in the
creepy
Tomb
shit.
of Annihilation, I'd expect an ominous, especially
Yeah.
bowing, especially if we're faced with a riddle of statues and something, you know what I mean? And there's
I'm
a trigger
surprised
point.
we're not getting an ominous wind right now. Quit blowing on me. Oh, wait, keep blowing on me. Let me adjust.
Oh man, too bad Zavril's not here. Zavril ended up passing Ejin off to Irame. That was a good one. I
Yeah,
would
that
have
was a
liked
moment.
Was
Yeah.
that a choice,
yeah.
or was that because the battle between the two gods?
That was because Papazadal, that's who's in Zavril?
Yeah.
That's because I think anyway, Papazadal convinced him that Ejin would be a better companion than Obalaka. And because
So Zavril had a say in who Irame was occupied by, possessed by.
Yeah, remember they were in the tunnel behind us? We got trapped in the
Right.
spinny thing.
Yeah,
And then
Zavril
Zavril
passed off
handed the
the
horn back to
horn
him.
because Papazotto likes Ejin more than he likes.
Okay.
he tricked her,
Obalaka.
essentially. He was
Yeah.
like, Irame, I can't see. I'm having a hard time. It's too dark. You
And
take
Irame
my
was
hand.
like, and
Irame-
Irame was like, yeah, we'll take your
And
hand.
Irame turned
you're not
into
mad at him?
Spider-Man.
she was mad.
Well,
She was
yeah,
very
Jin's
mad.
awesome.
I
Do you
think I was
remember
very
how
mad.
mad she was? Christy, Glass of Wine Christy came out
Yeah.
that night.
I don't remember. It was a while
She
ago.
was
I
so
don't even
mad.
remember how we got out
She
of
was
it.
like, I need to rewrite my whole fucking character sheet. This is stupid. Her wine almost spilling out of her glass while she's
did.
fucking erasing shit off her character.
So this game can get emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
for
upset.
sure.
But I think Ejin's powers are considerably better than Obalaka's, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up being like, oh, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't get rid of Obalaka quick enough.
I mean, Obalaka, you get an extra magic item
Yeah.
that you can
well,
attune
it's not
yourself
just that.
to.
Not only that, when you like switch everything off, all your shit becomes unattuned. Like everything gets all fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about the eyeballs, crystal eyeballs.
Mhm.
Was there a bunch of them everywhere, and you just had to collect whatever fucking kind, or did we actually just end up finding all of them before we got to the door?
You just found them all on your way.
Really? We just didn't miss a single one of those eyeballs. That's interesting to me.
Oh, imagine! Did I get some from the dwarf?
Yeah, there was two on the dwarf.
Yeah. Imagine if I hadn't left.
Oh no! I think you got those before. Before
did we?
you left, you guys looted.
Okay.
And another one.
I didn't get them when I was talking.
No,
with them.
no.
Yeah,
And another one of them was in a crawl space, and we were avoiding those crawl spaces
We were
this
for
whole
a little
time.
while,
And the one
yeah.
we went in had one eyeball we would have needed to fuck with that beholder.
That was on the Dragonborn Paladin. That was in the switchy room.
And were those fixed locations like in the source material?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, those weren't random at all. Those were where they were.
I
But at
mean-
the same time, when you go into that room, there's all sorts of tells and there's, check. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it was organic, I think the only way you would have missed it is if
If we missed a room somehow, or
Well, I think if we had gotten to that point and we didn't have enough, we would have covered more of the map. Right.
looked around more.
right. Yeah.
So bringing this all the way back now to when we first went in the tomb, a request that I have is bring back the hourglass. That was a really fun moment.
Yeah.
When we walked in and you brought out that hourglass, and we're like, all right, well, what do you guys do?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot all
I
about
think
that.
we need another hourglass moment coming
Yeah.
up.
Oh, maybe.
Write that in for us somewhere.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, we didn't talk about that, did we?
No.
Yeah, that room was that was like the very first trap or something like that.
It was. It's our first experience with the tomb.
Yeah, all you had to do was, I think, do nothing.
Right.
Was the
But
you
the
panicked.
hourglass, yeah,
But
it
you
makes you
panicked.
think you have to
Oh
do
yeah,
something.
pull a lever. What lever? I don't care. Just pull a lever.
We're running out of time.
Do something.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah.
You could even have done that with the ring room, because then we go in there and it started filling up with wine or something. Like if you would have brought
An
hourglass out
hourglass?
there, Cappy
Yep.
would probably be fucking dead now. He'd be dead. I would have panicked. Everyone would have panicked.
Death by
What do you
hourglass.
do? I try to drink all of it. I don't know. I don't know what I do.
So the fact that you're panicking because there's an hourglass on the table, like, just makes you think, like, what if you were really in that situation?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you have this
Oh
much
yeah,
time.
absolutely.
If you were really in a room that was filling up with wine, first you'd have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But then you'd be like, what the fuck am I going to do?
I feel like as soon as wine started like getting on my shoes, I'd be like,
What the fuck is this? Where's all this wine coming from?
And why wine?
"It's a
Water,
waste." I don't
you
really
can see
get
water. You can
Yeah.
see sewage.
it. Is it a metaphor? I don't really under.
Yeah, then there was Wongo's tomb. We didn't have a chance to talk about that either. With the 3 chests where
Wongo's my boy.
Copernicus just mashed the
Oh yeah.
mashed the button.
Mash the buttons. That was such
How
a great
did
moment.
dude? How did
Yeah.
Zavril not die? You remember that? He was like 1 point away, right? And we took a picture of the roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
good time. And speaking of Zavril, I don't think he's up and recording yet.
No,
though.
he's probably not recording at the moment.
We're doing a BTS right now as we speak.
All right, sweet.
So speaking of Zavril,
Zavril, welcome to the BTS.
Nice to have you.
are you naked?
Thank you. It's been a while. Yes.
The man is naked.
Of course he is. He just got out of work.
Why? Why are you late?
Well, I was doing work here. I got called saying that we had a bunch of servers down, so
Sure.
Something
Yep.
was down.
that's what I've been doing.
Something went down.
It wasn't husband work.
What's up?
Nothing. So what were we talking about? The Tomb of
We're talking
Wanda?
about how we barely managed to not kill Zavril when Cappy mashed all those buttons and you were in the treasure chest.
I wasn't even close to dying. What are you talking about?
I think you were a hit point away because if you hit 0 hit points, it was permanent.
I think I was at 3 hit points or something.
I thought it was 1.
I thought it was 1.
Yeah,
have to look at the screenshot.
we're just gonna have to call it 1 just for the
Yeah.
dramatic thing.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was 1 hit point.
I remember John's roll was really crappy, and it was like a lot of low numbers on his D8s.
You know what room or what moment confused me that was like easier once we figured it out, but I had no idea what to do, was the Right the Gods room
Oh.
with the statues.
Oh yeah.
That perplexed me, and I don't know why I did. Like,
Oh, that was another. Cappy took 18 points of fucking total hit points during
Yeah.
that fight, something like that.
Yeah, I've been tagged a couple times.
Hey, do you want to know what's interesting about that? And this is the first time I came across it. Was that attack didn't say necrotic damage? It just said all damage taken from this source is reduced from your max hit points. I don't know. I
That's
don't know
interesting.
why. Yeah, I don't
So-
know why. It's just
So does that mean that he can recover it or not with the curse?
I don't
well,
think
no,
so.
because I think it specifically states from what you read that any hit points that doesn't it? I don't think it's tied to necrotic. I think it's tied to your max hit points. Like when you lose, when your max hit points is reduced, it's not recoverable. You know?
I was under the same impression.
I don't think it mentions necrotic at all. It's just necrotic in a different source in the player's handbook says necrotic damage typically takes away your max hit points.
Yeah, I think when we talk about it, we often say it in the context of necrotic damage because that's what we understand as being a reduction in your
max hit
hit
point.
points.
So when Zavril took that damage in the chest, it looks like you rolled 10 dice. It looks like 10d6. You rolled 5 1s, a 2, a 3, and 3 4s.
Because you
For
have
a
this.
total of 22 points of damage. 5 1s.
Where did you roll it through? Fantasy Grounds?
Yeah.
He definitely took the screenshot
Yeah,
of
and
that.
we
Yeah,
have
I
the
have it. I'm
screenshot,
looking
yeah.
at it right now. So it was 22 points of damage on 10d6.
Does it show what he had
Yeah,
left on the...
it's right. I think I had 23 hit points.
Yeah, it doesn't show. I was going to say I was pretty sure it was like
I thought it was one
hit
hit
point
point. Yeah.
Yeah, and what was it? If he was reduced to 0,
Perma.
he would have been dead.
Yeah.
He had 1 hit point left. Dude.
what a moment
Not
that
even
was.
close.
So glorious.
So, Zavro, for BTS, while we have you, did you have an alt rolled up prepared, or would you had to start a new character from scratch at that point, if that had been it for
I
Zavro?
did. I actually created an alt as soon as we created our initial characters.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just checking.
I have a Necro sitting in the wings waiting to be played.
Oh, okay.
Why are you
Bro.
trying to copy
pull a 180. Why are you so obsessed with me?
All right. All right. Well, I think that concludes BTS. We're running low on time here, and we got to start an actual episode. So
yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining
You're
us, Kayla.
and the folks at home.
and the folks at home. And and as stated previously, with our new schedule, we should be able to pound out some more of these. These are fun. I like doing these.
Hit the music.